is a cool intro.
You love that. Here we are again. The marathon continues. Think Pink Tuesday. I'm here with my co-host and sidekick, Fancy Nancy. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, Fancy?
I know. This is like bring back great memories of last year.
Exactly.
I'm doing good. I'm doing
year.
well.
And we're not going to waste any time because I know she's at work right now. But I have a local Fayette County PA. Can I say that now? Fayette County PA.
You can say that now.
He is my neighbor in my hometown. Alana, what's going on?
Hi. Well, thanks for having me on the show. I was so excited that you asked me to be a guest on the show and tell you my story on breast cancer for Breast Cancer Month, even though I didn't wear pink today because totally forgot all about that it was Tuesday. But
that's okay. We're all pinked out for you. You know what? You blend right in with the black. You're good. We got enough pink for you.
Okay, that's cool.
So I tell you what, let's not waste any time. I tell you, just tell us like from A to Z
Your
and
journey.
Then we'll just go from there. Yeah, we want to hear the inspiring story here.
So back in 2012, I had a very rare symptom of breast cancer, and it was I had itchiness like on my breast. And when I would go out to dinner, my fiance at the time, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, like, don't ask me, it's just itchy." And, I'm trying to cover it up. And so it was actually, I went to go see my gynecologist, and they said, let's get you an ultrasound scheduled. And when I went to the ultrasound, they took me for a mammogram right away at 37 and a half years old.
Wow.
So I was like, this is a little bit weird. So going back like 3 different times for pictures, I knew something was up. And they gave me the ultrasound, and, the spot was not moving. So they said I needed a biopsy. So I went on my mom's birthday, and I could hear my mom's silent tears in the back when the doctor said, it looks quite worrisome. And so it was a month before my wedding that I was supposed to get married. And, whenever you get those bridal planners, the wedding planners, nowhere in those planners say, let's get an EKG. Let's go get a breast MRI. Let's go to the doctor. I didn't, it wasn't in my planner for that. And when I got the call at school, I was just frantic, and I went over to my fiance's and I said, "Here's your way out, buddy." And he said, "Nope." He said, "It's supposed to be for sickness and in health." And he goes, "That's just the way we're going to be." So I said, okay. So I did all this stuff, met with a breast surgeon, and she said at the time, she said, we're going to schedule you for July 11th. And I was like, oh my Lord. I'm like, that's my honeymoon. I'm coming back after like 2 days after my honeymoon. And I said, do I need to switch it? And he's like, no, or she said, no, you'll be fine. I don't know why I keep saying him. That was my doctor, was a him. So, so I went, and my flight on the way back got delayed twice. And I'm like having a frantic. I'm like,
no way.
I gotta get to this hospital, get this chip in, like hurry up. And so I went to have my surgery July 11, 2012. And 1 week later, because they did shoot the dye up, and the dye went to 2 lymph nodes. And one of those lymph nodes did come back cancerous. So that put me into a stage 2, which was, I was only supposed to get radiation, which now put me into chemo.
Wow.
So, they say your first 5 years of marriage are hard. It was the first 6 months were extremely hard. Living somewhere for 37 and a half years, moving to an apartment, and, having breast cancer, and going, your new husband going through the chemo treatment. So I did chemo the first round for once a week for every 3 weeks. That was a little bit harsh because every 3 weeks I was ending up in the emergency room because I had the delayed nausea. And I remember my husband's 40th anniversary dinner was at the airport in Latrobe, Westmoreland County, that is, Richard.
You're in Fayette now.
I know. So, and I went in there and I got so sick and I was in the restroom and I was like, I need a doctor. And this woman was like, what? You don't need a doctor. I'm like, oh, like I'd make this stuff up. I
Yeah.
was like, I need a doctor. So one came in and they ended up calling the ambulance,
Oh my goodness.
taking me by there because I had got so sick. But the thing that got me through that episode was seeing my husband carrying my wig and my Vera Bradley purse through the airport parking lot.
Wow.
That's what
So
you
he was-
call love.
That is love.
That is
LOVE.
love.
Exactly. So, him and my mom and my grandma were there through every treatment with me, and then we bought a townhouse 6 months into it after my first round of chemo, and I was starting the second round, and then right after that second round of chemo, then I bought a puppy.
Oh,
Don't know why I did that, but she was the best thing.
What
that helped me.
kind? You have to tell
yeah,
us.
no share.
Oh, it's a little Maltese.
Oh,
And if you go to the city paper, she just got a new title. She is the cutest pet for 2021 in first place.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
her
thanks. So I knew
name?
there was a reason. Her
What-
name's Sydney.
Aw.
I have
After
Sydney and
Sidney Crosby,
Mercedes
right?
with a Z. Huh?
After Sidney Crosby, right?
Oh, no. But yeah, sure.
All right, next subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I did that. I went through my radiation, and by an act of God, my numbers were always great, and I had lost my hair, lost my eyebrows, lost my, eyelashes, and I said I never asked God why, but I did find out that year that my friend at the time, who I've known for like since I was little, her dad had passed away, and she didn't have a husband or boyfriend and didn't have any kids, and she called me and she's like, I have breast cancer.
Oh.
And while I was going through treatment, I took care of her and took her to all her doctor's appointments and for her surgery too. And I knew God gave it to me first. I guess diagnosed
Give her the
me
strength.
first because
Mhm.
yeah, I needed to be strength for other people, and that's what I am. I do. I just did a walk in Fayette County this past Saturday, and advocated and told my story and things like that, and had Hairpiece Charities there. Hairpiece is an amazing organization too, but. That's just me and my story. I just keep
you
plugging
look
ahead and
fantastic. I have to
Yes.
say,
Thank you.
are beautiful.
thank you.
And if Fancy Nancy says that, it's 100% true.
I love Fancy Nancy.
Thank you. But no, seriously, your story is so amazing. And may I ask, are
Thanks.
you in remission now?
I am. It's like 8 years. It'll be 9 years
Wow.
next June.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I still take the medicine. So
Tamoxifen, I guess. Is it tamoxifen?
yeah,
My mom
Yeah.
had breast cancer, and unfortunately, she lived for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, how they say it kind of spreads eventually. So she got it into her pancreas.
I'm
And
so sorry.
yeah, and it was an amazing journey for me and for my, 3 kids that were young at the time we brought her home and took care of her. And, you all, like you said, you have to be strength for somebody else
Mhm.
and then continue with their, their memory and do good, especially with the, breast cancer. It's a scary thing. That's for sure.
It is. And then I found out, my menstrual cycles came back a little way, way early. And I ended up having to have a hysterectomy that next year.
Oh,
And so, my husband and I can't have any kids. So, my 2 dogs are everything. So
you're fur mama.
I'm a
That's
fur
it.
mama.
We're
You're
mama
fur
living
mama.
life. That's what it's all about. Living the dream. Now, are
It
you
is.
involved in any support groups or anything like that through the through
Mhm.
your whole time? Were you involved in anything like that?
Just the hairpiece charities,
Okay.
because they provided me with a wig, and they gave, whenever you sign up with them, they give you a quilt, and they, talk to you and give you support groups and stuff like that. But I never really, went because I had my mom, my grandma, and my husband,
You had a
um,
good
you know,
support group.
yeah, yeah. And then, Sydney and stuff like that. So, I really truly just kept plugging away every day. I was like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, and I really relied on my faith a lot. So,
And what would you tell other people that, you just had an itch? What would you tell people to look out for?
it's, whenever I looked it up, it said one of the rare symptoms was the
Mm,
itchiness, around the nipple part. And, um, you know, whether you think you feel it or you don't, you're not sure, get it checked. I
mm,
mean, even men, I will say that, even
There you
men,
go.
I've
yeah.
done tons of walks, and, the men step up, and I mean, it's just, it can happen to anyone, anywhere in your body.
Yeah.
So, and I always say, there's someone out there that has it worse. Um, so try to keep that in your head to keep your positivity going.
Mhm.
And, at least breast cancer, they, have the medicines and the tools and, stuff like that going on. So,
Yeah.
um,
And
yeah.
and it's funny because last year when we did this, I got to be with Richard the whole day.
Oh, the
And
whole day with me. Look out.
yeah, and just listening to the stories, and breast cancer runs real. You know how they say it usually skips a generation? It doesn't skip a generation on my side of the family. So after our show, about a month later, I went to get my mammogram because I hadn't gone for years. So that definitely, and listening to your story and all last year's story makes me really be an advocate for breast cancer. Go and get checked.
Awesome.
And I'm actually
Good.
going to do the blood test as well to see if I actually have the gene for breast cancer. So I'm excited to do
Good.
that in the next month. Yeah, it is so important. It
It
really
is
is.
so true. And look at that, Nancy. You were on the show last year and made you move and go
Yeah,
do it, right? Just simple
yeah,
things like that to spread the awareness, like we do.
yeah.
Hey,
Just
Nancy, you're gonna love this.
what?
Ask her what she used to be. She was a former mayor.
You
I
are a
was.
former mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I just resigned a few months ago. I did that in honor of my pap in my hometown.
Is that
There
awesome or what?
we have a real
Yeah.
star.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. I like my politics, but I'm always so, fair, and I just want things done right.
Mhm.
So that's where I felt that I was good for at the time. But I'm bringing it to Fayette County.
We all are. You're doing that. I'm finding everybody a job in Fayette County. We're teaming up together. Nobody knows
All
that
right.
yet, but we
Oh,
got a
well, you
little
just
excitement
told
going behind the
everybody.
scenes. We're gonna change our town. Trust me. The
Good
change
for
is
All
you
coming.
right.
guys. Yeah.
Sounds
Excellent.
good.
It's exciting, but I just want to thank you so much for coming on here and sharing some of your time
Thanks so
during your lunch
much.
break here. If you need an excuse, let me know. We'll get you an excuse here. So
It was amazing listening to your story, Alana, and I can, I'll be thinking of you and continue wishing you well and health. Health at the end of the
Aw,
day, right?
thank you so much. Thanks so
You're
much for having me. I
welcome.
really, truly appreciate it. And I just say, anyone who hasn't got checked yet, go get checked. And
Mhm.
if you are fighting breast cancer, keep the fight. Keep the fight. Keep positive. Never, ever give up.
there it is.
Yeah.
Keep the hope alive and the will. It's like
Yeah.
that. Well, hey, thank you again, dear, so much. And when I see you in person, since we both are in the same neighborhood, I will give you a big pink hug. Okay. So
Sounds
Give her an
good.
extra one for me.
I
How's
will,
that?
All right.
Nancy.
We
Sounds
do.
good. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on. Talk to you
You're
soon.
welcome. Talk to you.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Nancy, how you doing, dear?
I'm doing great.
Wow, was that? An incredible guest there from my
It's
hometown.
it's amazing. I miss being with you the whole day because I love listening to the stories of survivors and
Oh,
just the same kind of message comes across. Please get checked out. Anything abnormal, little thing, go see your doctor because you got to fight it, right? And it's the earlier you find
Exactly.
out about it, the more.
And I think the
chance
biggest thing
more
for
to
this,
get it.
this our second year is to spread the awareness. It's all about
Yeah.
that. You know, if you guys get a chance, check down in the box below. You can donate to one of the organizations here in Pittsburgh. It's a nonprofit. They're all about spreading the word to young women and men to go get
Yep.
checked, because
Get
it can
checked.
happen at any age. Trust me, we've seen it
Yeah.
over and over again on this telethon. So this is exciting news. Before we go, Nancy, I got to give a shout out to our big sponsor here.
Woohoo!
Ford down in Grafton, West Virginia. Thank you
Nice.
for sponsoring us for the whole day there.
Thank
If you know a
you.
new truck, a new car, or even the new Bronco, reach out to them in Grafton. Good people there, and they give a lot back on Think Pink month. So shout out to them. But hey, Nancy, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you. There it is. I love it. But I'll see you a little bit later on one of our other shows. We got some more lined up. You know, can't wait. We'll be on the show in the next 5 minutes with somebody new. But
And I'll be
I'll
coming
see you
back
later on
later
tonight.
Yeah, I'll see you later on tonight.
With another show, and by then I might have pink hair, just to warn you. So look out.
He tried to convince me, and I said no. I stuck with my red.
Well, hey, thank you everybody for this episode. We'll see you very shortly with another inspiring story. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye.